So I got an article that was sent to me recently. And I haven't read over the article because I want my reactions to be as genuine as possible here, but it's literally called "The Far Right Turns on Marjorie Taylor Greene." Now there's a number of things that could mean here, but I'm interested to go through this and see with you guys what this means. So, let's go ahead and get into the fan art section, and we have here a long ponytail Neko Suris, and I like this outfit idea. This is cool, and I like it, and it's neat. The next one we have here is from XLR. Again, a slime Suris as a pair of D6 dice. I rolled slime eyes. Jesus. And finally, we have one from Scarlet Roselia, made Winx Suris. I make no apologies. Oh. Well, you don't have to make any apologies. It looks cool. It looks neat. As always, everybody, thank you very much for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, though, let's go ahead and get into the video itself. After Nearly Mighty, thank you for redeeming your points for an and an NB Vixen named Vixie. Thank you very much for redeeming your points for an Owl. Alrighty. Marjorie Nutter Green. Let's go. Let's take a listen here. Why is there no volume? She's defended herself after being accused of trying to sabotage Donald Trump in 2024. Okay, so this is just a video version of the article. We're going to watch the actual article itself. We're going to read the article itself. There's no reason for us to do it this way. So, no longer happy with GOP Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, some extremist figures in the party have recently reversed course after supporting the Georgia Congresswoman, turning some once cordial relationships sour. First elected in 2020 and re-elected last month, Greene has become one of the most controversial members of Congress, known for her incendiary remarks, and with Republicans ready to take control of the House in January, she is poised to gain power. Her expanded influence in the chamber should be cheered by hardline conservatives, but instead, she has gotten some pushback for breaking with the far right in order to stick with current party leaders. In recent weeks, far-right political activists like Nicholas Fuentes, a white nationalist leader who recently dined with Donald Trump and Laura Loomer, a failed GOP congresswoman candidate in Florida, have criticized Greene, accusing her of switching positions and undermining Trump's 2024 presidential run. Oh my, how the delicious infighting begins. Many political observers had expected Greene to back right-wing challenges to House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy's bid to become the next House Speaker, a move championed by one of her biggest allies, Representative Matt Gaetz. Instead, the Congresswoman called those efforts risky and a bad strategy for the party and vowed to vote for McCarthy. Joseph Yakinski, a political science professor at the University of Miami and co-author of American Conspiracy Theories, told Newsweek that Greene's decision to align herself with top Republicans exemplifies the precarious position she's in as an elected official, with more support outside of D.C. than inside the Capitol. She doesn't have a big group of allies, Yuskinski said, and if McCarthy wins, he's going to have power. Nick Fuentes and Laura Loomer don't really have any institutional power. So if she wants to get things done in Congress, she's going to need people like McCarthy on her side, and not necessarily Nick Fuentes. So, let's go ahead and put this in very basic terms. There's a post from a very good friend of mine, Vivi Chan the Dragon, about VTubers. And it's about the difference between being loved and being popular. If you want to make it as a content creator, you don't need to be loved. You need to be popular. You can be popular for good reasons. You can be popular for bad reasons. But basically, you need eyes on you. That's what being popular does. You might not be loved. There might be a lot of people who actually hate watch you, but you are popular. The Popularity is the thing that keeps your career going. Being loved is not a thing that keeps your career going. Though being unloved can certainly mean that your career tanks super quick. They certainly have correlative overlaps. Cases I don't understand hate watching, okay? That is my entire channel. But because there is that difference there, because there is the difference between being loved and being popular, and that difference is the difference between you having a successful channel and merely just having a group of people around you who like the stuff you do, let's take that same example and move it to politics now. Marjorie Taylor Greene is in office. Fuentes is not in office. Fuentes has a lot of support within his niche. Laura Loomer has support from the same niche. Marjorie Taylor Greene has a choice. She has a choice between appealing to the far-right niche that Fuentes and Laura Loomer and Alex Jones and others exist in, or appealing to the people currently in power, appealing to the people who currently hold positions of authority. If she chooses to ignore the people in positions of authority, she basically needs to be able to fight for that authority herself, to have that type of influential power herself. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not here just to gain an audience. Nick Fuentes has all the power he wants, basically. He has an audience. He has more money than he knows what to do with. He has the ear of multiple political figures. He's basically where he wants to be, functionally, even if, America's not where he wants it to be. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a woman who has aspirations of power. She is a woman who is not content with just having people who watch her on social media. She wants to be the one in charge. And for her to be the one in charge, she needs the backing of institutions. She needs the backing of people who already wield power, because she can do nothing on her own. She is merely a representative in the House. One of many. Which certainly gives her a degree of power in our country, yes, but not as much as she would like. For her to have the power that she wants, she needs to ally herself with the establishment. Despite being one of the few prominent Republicans willing to be seen alongside Fuentes during February's America First Political Action Conference, Greene publicly denounced the event's white supremacist organizer last month after he had dinner with Trump and the former president's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Said, "Of course I denounce Nick Fuentes and his racist, anti-Semitic ideology. I can't comprehend why the media is obsessed with him." Again, you headlined one of his events, Marjorie. You are part of the problem. Her change of heart was attacked by Fuentes, who said Greene voices her controversial positions only until the second it gets too hot, which is true. Has she ever done anything that shows good character in her entire life? He asked on a December 3 episode of the online show Politically Provoked. She's just weak. She'll go and say something edgy to get attention, and when the pressure comes, she buckles. So, technically, Nick Fuentes is right there. Because what's happening is Marjorie Taylor Greene is willing to appease far-right crazies in order to get their votes. But she is not willing to rely on them if she is going to lose the conservative moderate. If she loses the conservative moderate, if she loses the people who are established in old politics, she has no power. She can do nothing. She gets to exist as the House rep version of a lame duck, creating policies that will never be voted on, and using her time to talk about shit that doesn't matter on the floor. So she's 100% trying to circle the power vacuum? Yup. Marjorie wants power, and she is willing to agree with and suck the cockles of whoever can grant that power to her. Fuentes also attacked Greene's personal life, accusing her of having an affair and chastising her for being the face of Christian nationalism while also being a divorced woman girl boss. Right, because Nick Fuentes hates women. I love watching these two fight. I love the infighting. It's great. It gets me excited. Loomer, whom Green endorsed during her unsuccessful 2020 bid in Florida's GOP primary in the 11th Congressional District, also questioned the Congresswoman last week. In a post shared on Telegram, she said Green's decision to hire Milo Yiannopoulos, who formerly managed Kanye West's 2024 presidential campaign, as a congressional intern contradicted her support for Trump. Green has maintained that Yiannopoulos' internship in her office ended in August. It should also be noted that Yiannopoulos has also been known to make very controversial statements about diddling children. But let's keep going. It bothers me and should bother all of you that MTG is claiming to be pro-Trump and using Trump to boost her profile, while she and her team are secretly undermining him by using Milo as a political operative to make Trump look bad, Loomer said. MTG is a snake and she needs to go. That's why I call her Marjorie Traitor Green. Green has denied the accusation, of course, that she is working against Trump. Her spokesperson reiterated Green's support for Trump in Newsweek, saying the Congresswoman has been very vocal in her endorsement for his run for president in 2024. We're going to pause this real quick to say, here's what I predict. I predict that of the 3 candidates we know of that are running in the primaries right now for the conservative presidential candidate. We know we have Ye, we know we have Trump, and we know we have DeSantis. If DeSantis beats out Trump, which I'm fairly certain he will, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Trump v. DeSantis, because Ye is a joke. But when DeSantis versus Trump happens, and when DeSantis wins, Marjorie is going to goose step behind DeSantis. 110%. Capital as Imperial, Judeo, Dom, whatever the fuck. Welcome to the ban zone. Because, I don't know, something about saying people are cucked by Israel just sounds like anti-Semitism to me, so we're just going to go ahead and be on the safe side and cuck you out of the stream. Eat shit. So when DeSantis wins, Trump will go third party because his ego will force him to run. Or Trump will die. One of the two. Or Trump will die. Or Trump's health conditions will catch up to him and he'll die. It's one of the two. But you can bet your sweet ass that Marjorie is going to ally herself with whoever has power. Fuentes is able to ride sinking ships because Fuentes doesn't need power, he needs notoriety. Notoriety is what gets him money. Marjorie makes money by a combination of notoriety and being allied with power. Fuentes needs no power to keep his lifestyle going. All he needs to do is go back down to his mother's basement with his green screen and bitch about how women are ruining the country and how there's just not enough white people. Itzaroro says, you think it's going to be DeSantis? I do think it's going to be DeSantis. I think it's going to end up being DeSantis versus Biden. For Fuentes to maintain his position, to maintain what he has, and to even grow it, he only needs to ride every sinking ship that happens, because by riding every single sinking ship, like he is riding Ye, like he is riding Trump, when he rides those sinking ships, he gets to be the guy who knew all of the people that 4chan gives a shit about. Says, what about DeSantis versus Newsom? I'm fairly certain we're going to... I don't know who Newsom is. I feel like that's a... I feel like that's enough of an indicator that doesn't matter. Keep in mind, as white people gain power, the definition of white will narrow. Yep. Said governor for California. Gotcha. Fair enough. If he ends up running on the Democratic ticket, I don't know if we're going to end up using that. Historically, we tend to just keep the incumbent. we're probably just going to keep the incumbent. Like, historically, that's what we do, because historically the incumbent has a higher chance of winning. But, so do you think Biden will go for a second term? Very likely. He may not want to go for a second term, but going for a second term is what the Democratic Party is going to want. But we're going to go ahead and continue on with this. On Telegram, Green wrote that Lauren Loomer and others like her make a living by keeping you outraged with made-up salacious rumors about people like me and our government. Trust me, they know nothing. Wow, it's amazing that Marjorie Taylor Greene has said something I agree with. While distancing herself from the far right seems a surprising move for Greene, experts say it's a likely shift for a congresswoman vying for more congressional influence. Republican strategist Jay Townsend and Alex Patton told Newsweek they suspect Greene and McCarthy have struck a deal that involves granting her more power in exchange for her support for him as House Speaker. Given the political advantages, Townsend said he doubts Greene will walk back on her speakership endorsement because of criticism from the ultra-kook wing of the ultra-MAGA movement. Iskinski said there are clear incentives for her to align herself with people that can help her in Congress, rather than align herself with friends and internet personalities. Having already done a term in Congress, I think she is starting to understand the value of having allies. Newsweek reached out to Greene for comment, and they have not gotten anything yet, apparently. So if the Democratic Party could actually play ball, that would really help. We will see. But, so we've got a lot of infighting happening on the right now, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm loving every second of it. I want more of this. I would like to see that party fracture so much that it is impossible for them to gain votes elsewise. You and I both know that's not going to happen, but a guy can dream. A guy can dream. But let me know what you think in the comment section below about this recent political drom-com that's been happening. And with that said, as always, everybody, insert in the video tagline here after you subscribe.